Now, in an exclusive interview with the News of the World yesterday, Peter Andre opened up about his split from wife Katie Price. Sadly, it's clear he isn't over the split just yet. He says, "I keep thinking I should be getting through this, but I can't get it out of my head. At first, all I could think about was the kids. I knew I had to be strong for them, so I went to buy furniture, duvets, pillowcases, all to go in the new home I'd bought for us. It was at that point it really hit me hard, the realisation that the family unit was smashed to pieces. I got out of the shop, sat in the car with my brother Mike and just broke down. It all just suddenly hit me in the IKEA car park." So have we had our own IKEA car park moments in our lives when you knew life would just never be the same again?
I must admit, when I split up from Ken, there was one moment, I had lots of moments, but there was one moment I sat at home with my little Charlie, my Westie dog, and I thought, 25 years have gone, just gone. He's just completely wrecked the whole 25 years and got really upset. And I thought, I've got to get in my car. Got in my car and cried all the way to Bournemouth. All the way, just cried. And I thought, I'm going to go on Bournemouth Pier and I'm going to have a magical moment for myself. Because it was a realisation that everything was over. And I got on the pier and I started to walk along, and then I went down and went onto the sand and walking along. And all I could smell was fish and chip and dog poo. This defines my whole life.
Did you see the funny side, though?
I started to laugh, and then I started to laugh hysterically. So everybody then thought I was from an insane asylum or something.
I had a couple of them, but certainly when I first met David, it was very clear instantly that this was going to change everything. And the second one was when I found out I was pregnant with my first baby, which I hadn't been too confident I was going to be able to do. So, and because I was so sure I wasn't pregnant, we did buy a pregnancy test, but and we happened to be in Newcastle at the time. We were just sort of wandering around shopping and didn't hurry home to do it or anything. And then when we did do it, I was sort of like, I said to him, "Read those instructions. What does that say? What does that say? What does that say? What does that say?" Still wouldn't believe it was positive. Sent him out in a taxi at like 11 o'clock at night to an all-night supermarket, and I said, "Buy 5. Literally, came back, did 5, all positive, still wasn't jumping up and down, didn't believe it, refused to believe it was there. And it wasn't until a couple of days later when I went to a sort of a clinic and a lady in a white coat came out and went, "The first 6 were right, you are pregnant," that I sort of had that moment.
You weren't in IKEA car park when you found out. That could have been a bit embarrassing. I'm actually the same situation as you. When I met Paul, I had that defining moment then on that day. I met him on the Friday night, say, and then we spent all night drinking and chatting and getting on really, really well. And then we went to breakfast. We stayed out all night chatting, and then I went home and we arranged to meet for dinner that night, and we were on the phone 3 hours in between. I couldn't wait to see him in the evening, and I thought, and I've got a friend of mine to come along just in case I made a huge mistake and he was a weirdo, but he wasn't. And I turned up and I saw this gorgeous man, and I knew my friend was coming, and I've got to get rid of my friend, and I just knew straight away that when I saw Paul, he was absolutely my type. I moved in with him 3 weeks later. And I knew from the moment that I met him that he was the most honest, open person I'd ever met. He's one of these people, you ask him a question, gives you a straight answer, he doesn't dress it up, doesn't make it sound like it's more interesting to you. He's just, you know, and I'd been going out a lot and meeting lots of people that kind of, you know, reinvented themselves every night, and he was just so honest and real. I just thought, this is it for me.
Life will never be the same again.
No.
Do you know what? You're talking about, you know, because Peter just happened to be in the IKEA car park. Actually, the last time I was in the IKEA car park, I'm really serious. I did have a life change, and I did sit and I think it's never going to be the same again. I thought, I'm never coming here again. It's a total nightmare. And I did. I've never been since.
When we were first doing this show years and years ago, Carol looked like a pudding bowl because she had a haircut which was like that, like somebody had sat on her, and and she looked terrible. She looked really bad. I think,
mate.
It's good. You did look really, you did, though, didn't you? You looked like somebody's pudding bowl that they'd thrown out in the garden. But anyway, but I think your life-changing moment is when you went blonde.
Do you think?
Yeah, because don't you think when she went blonde, it was so lovely, and you got this hair, and I thought, yes, except
This hair, it's my hair.
yes, I know, but it's the roots, though. I mean,
No,
you should
no, my hairdresser's on holiday. But no, do you know what? That did actually change.
it did
a hell
change
of
you
a lot of
completely.
things, yeah.
You became nice.